Renato Migliaccio, and my school is Sampa Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Martin Duque from the Flowing Arts Academy, Austria, and Sampa BJJ Austria.
Bill Loftus, and our gym is Alex Wilkie's Martial Arts in Bridgewater, New Jersey.
Bert Obernosterer. I train at my own flat. I have a little training room at home, and it's called the Pizza Cave.
Carlos Maia, I'm from Gracie Barra, Lignano, Slovenia.
My name is Dominik Ahtotovic. I train in Stuttgart Stallion Gym. I'm Franja Ahtotovic and I'm also from the Stallion.
Hans Hatten und ich leite die Hatten-Akademie in München, Schwabing.
Mario, I train at City Town Vienna.
Peter Vrocek, Doncaster Martial Arts Center with Neo Light.
Rick Martin Hunley Jr. and I'm the owner and head instructor at Hunley Jiu-Jitsu.
Wolfgang Micha. I'm the judo trainer at the Flowing Arts Academy.
And this is the BJJ Intensive Camp 2017. Having the opportunity to get in touch with so many black belts, I thought it was interesting to get a little in depth with their history and their origin and why it was they became black belts. So I asked them, and so this video is a bit more about the personalities behind the sport.
BJJ for me is part of my lifestyle. I like to train and I like the mentality of training to be always open-minded, to learn new things, to help people and to improve. And that's for me the main goal, to improve every day, every time, and to improve my techniques, but also as a person.
Because I love the sport, but I also, I work as a professor at the university most of the time. And so I sit around a lot, I think a lot, and I find that sort of even if I go running, sort of your mind keeps working. But with BJJ, when somebody is on top of you trying to choke you, trying to armbar you, you're in the moment and it gives your mind a rest. So afterwards I always find, even though I'm physically tired, I feel refreshed. And so BJJ is great for my work, it's great for how I feel. And I love the people of the community. When I travel a lot, so I can take my belt and my gi with me and meet new people everywhere, all over the world.
I've always been fond of martial arts in general. I started when I was a young kid in judo and wrestling, and I found jiu-jitsu much later, in my 20s, late 20s, and I feel like I got bit by the bug. And when you train jiu-jitsu, it just changes you somehow. I can't really explain it, but it changes you somehow. And when you get bit by the bug, you just it becomes part of you.
I started training Jiu-Jitsu when I was 12 years old, so from my memory I remember that I started training because of self-defense, basically. I want to also socialize a little more. I was moving from a neighborhood to another, and I did other martial arts when I was younger, and I just came to Jiu-Jitsu. A friend told me it was a good thing. I didn't actually know what was that, and then I fell in love. I fell in love with Jiu-Jitsu, and nowadays my lifestyle is the thing I do for living.
I started with martial arts because of self-defense reasons, and I always wanted to do martial arts as a little kid, but my mother didn't want me to do, so I started when I was 17, first with Judo, then with Sambo, and I liked the ground fighting aspect of it, so through the internet I found BJJ, I tried it, and I stayed with it, and for him it was the same. Yeah.
First I trained judo for 22 years now, and then I skipped to BJJ because of Martin, our head coach. First he asked me if it's possible to do some takedown training at his gym at the Flowing Arts. And then, yeah, I kept going and I've seen some BJJ stuff and I got used to it, and I thought it was a good idea to combine my judo skills with some BJJ skills. And
started with wrestling, and when I got out of school, you don't wrestle anymore. And a friend of mine found me and said, "Hey, do you still wrestle?" I said, "No." He said, "Do you want to try this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?" And I said, "I don't know what that is, but if it's like wrestling, I'll show up." And I went in there thinking I was really a badass, and I learned that I wasn't, and I instantly knew I have to learn that. Whatever just happened to me, I want to know that. And you know, it really helped me in a lot of ways to become a better person, because it's a complete contrast. It's more gentle. It humbles you, but it humbles you in a way where you can become a better human being. It helped my characteristics as well, personally.
Ich bin auf dem Dorf aufgewachsen mit 1000 Einwohnern, richtig auf dem Land, und da hat es nur Fußball gegeben. Das war okay, da habe ich Fußball gespielt, das ist als Kind und Jugendlicher war das auch okay, aber als Jugendlicher dann wollte ich dann unbedingt Kampfsport machen. Und das ging nur in der Stadt in Augsburg praktisch. Und als ich dann habe ich Autoführerschein gemacht, und sobald ich Autoführerschein hatte, bin ich dann nach Augsburg gefahren zum Kampfsport, habe dann mit Kickboxen, Vollkontakt-Karate angefangen. Wir haben schon ziemlich alles gekämpft, eben Vollkontakt-Karate, Kickboxen, Thai-Boxen, K1. Habe dann auch Wettkämpfe gemacht. Das war okay, sage ich mal. Im Lebenslauf steht erfolgreich teilgenommen. Okay. Ja, aber auch schon nach 3 Monaten den ersten Kickbox-Kampf gemacht. War natürlich nicht so toll. Auf jeden Fall war ein Brasilianer, der Paçoca in Augsburg, der das Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu oder beziehungsweise Luta Libre gemacht hat, das Grappling gemacht hat, und da habe ich mit ihm mittrainiert, und das war vom ersten Training an, war das mein Training. Und da hat es praktisch angefangen und habe es seitdem einfach weitergemacht. Das Ding ist, der hat Capoeira gemacht und wurde dann Europavertreter von Capoeira und war dann nicht mehr da. Da habe ich gedacht, das ist jetzt ja kein Problem. Ich suche im Internet den nächsten Trainer und trainiere bei dem. Ja, der nächste Trainer war dann der Andreas Schmidt in Köln. Und dann bin ich zu ihm gefahren, einmal im Monat, wenn es ging. Einmal im Monat vor einem Wochenendseminar, und habe das mitgetrainiert und gefilmt und bin zurückgekommen und habe es unterrichtet, weil war keine andere Möglichkeit. Ja, einfach. Ich habe als Anfänger praktisch angefangen schon zum Unterrichten, und so ist es entstanden. Ich bin da in die Trainerschiene halt so reingerutscht praktisch.
I love the movement, so it's a nice mixture between a full contact martial arts sport and a strategy game. It's like human chess, and I like the game aspect of it.
When I actually found out that I was a person, you know, I was already doing this. So I started actually doing judo, and did judo competitive for a long time, since I was 7, 8 years old. And some people actually started younger than me, but then when I realized I was already doing it, it's not supposed to quit, and can't quit, stuff like that. So I continue, and I started doing jiu-jitsu when I was 16, about 39 now. So then one time I kind of completely stopped judo, just focused on jiu-jitsu, did some MMA, some wrestling, but I did for a certain time because I wanted to compete. And the competition was the motivate me more. And then I had to face this transition, because now I don't compete much, and I found a time that I didn't have any more motivation to train. Why I'm going to train if I'm not going to compete? And I started realizing that I have to be more into the martial arts side and learn. I'm here to learn, I'm here to evolve. I'm not just evolve my jiu-jitsu, but evolve myself as a person, learn all the martial arts. Now I'm training to be a stunt, so I can use the jiu-jitsu in the movies, and so now this is all motivating myself. Now focus on my school, focus on my students. So if I can't, competition is just one side. Is what I've had first, what I learned first. But now I train because I want to be healthy. So our training is not crazy anymore like it used to be. But so we train, in a healthy way, so I can have good joints and not feel all beat up. So I can lose weight and stay longer in this planet for my kids. They are there. Yeah.
10, 15 years ago, Jiu-Jitsu was not mainstream as it is today. Mainstream is hard to say. Jiu-Jitsu is still an amateur sport, but you can train it all over the world. You can travel to any place and for sure you will find Jiu-Jitsu there. So Jiu-Jitsu is well known over the world now, but still in some places Jiu-Jitsu is lacking of high professional instructors or even any instructor. There's no instructor there, but people want to learn Jiu-Jitsu. This was our goal to start to make these camps in Europe. Europe is growing in the Jiu-Jitsu community in Europe is growing a lot, but still we need to get more high quality instructors to Europe. And we said, okay, let's bring a lot of instructors together and to offer the students what they need, okay? To give them some guidance, to give them some help, to give them some possibility to train with other people. 15 years ago, Jiu-Jitsu was not as it is today, okay? Jiu-Jitsu became well known because of the UFC fights, when Royce Gracie won one of the first UFC fights. And in the beginning, everybody wanted to train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because of mixed martial arts. Today, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is much more. It's not only mixed martial arts. People, they train Jiu-Jitsu for mixed martial arts, but also for self-defense, for fitness, for competition, for sport. But also kids and women are training Jiu-Jitsu to get a good workout, the kids to get a good behavior, to get a good physical education. And this is all what Jiu-Jitsu can provide to the people. On the camps, we focus on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, mainly in the kimono, but because some people, they don't like to train in the kimono, they prefer no-gi, we always offer some special classes, or all the time we have 3 classes going on, and 1 class is for no-gi, for MMA, for self-defense, and not in the gi. So at least 1 class is not in the gi, so people can choose what they want to learn or what they prefer.
You don't really know in what kind of thing you enter when you start Jiu-Jitsu, but you will see that soon all your teammates, everyone's in the club, like especially when you're all day there, you become kind of like your family. And after years, if you don't stop doing Jiu-Jitsu, it has like a huge impact, like even on the character, on the character development. Okay, like we were talking about the ups and downs. Okay, helps you because you will find yourself in a lot of situations, like you get stuck, and in sparring you can't just stop and give up just because you're stuck in a bad position, right? You gotta try to find a way, get out of it, and try to be the one who's like on top. Then you try to not give up in a situation where you just see a wall. Jiu-Jitsu has so many doors to go through, so just take one. And
I think how you can use your own skills, abilities for your own way to make progress in doing your techniques, your gameplay in BJJ. So I think that you get used to your own body limits and your own skill to make your own BJJ play.
Come.
The BJJ mindset, I can't say we're, because there are a bunch of us and I don't want to categorize anything, but for me the BJJ mindset is being calm under fire. You're in a bad, let's give you a scenario when you need to be calm. Someone is trying to put you unconscious. They're trying to stop the blood going to your brain, make you sleep. And if you overreact or you don't think and you just use your instincts, your human instincts, he's going to. You need to be able to breathe and hopefully have the knowledge to escape this, hopefully. And you have to be calm. You have to keep the blood down, because if you overreact, your heart rate goes faster. And when they're choking you, they're stopping that from going. So you're helping him. You need to breathe. You need to try to keep your heart. It's hard work. You're not going to have a calm heart, but you can't overreact. And you have to get out of someone trying to put you to sleep. Someone is trying to break your arm, your leg, And if you're gonna hurt your own leg. You know, you hurt yourself because you didn't know how to get out. You thought maybe you could jump to the side and pull your leg out, and unfortunately when you went that way, you should have went this way, and your leg kind of went both. You don't want that. You have to be calm. If it hurts, look, there's an easy way to get out of any submission in jiu-jitsu. Done. Learn from that. Ask them and try to find a better way. Try to get more than one option.
Oh, that's a hard one. I think that differs a lot. If you ask 10 people, you get 10 different answers. For me personally, I can only answer what it's for me personally. It's for me it's having a good time actually. So respect your partner, you respect your opponent, respect the art itself, and have a good time on it. Always don't take yourself too serious. Take jiu-jitsu serious, but don't take yourself too serious. So have fun on the mat.
To know how to solve problems with patience. I think that when we are in a bad position, you know that you need patience, you need to be calm and find the right movement. Most of the time, this is the solution you need, the right movement. So that's a big lesson and big changing of mindset. In my opinion, when I see students, they change especially in this aspect, the way they face the problems in their life. That's our mindset. We are constantly in bad position. Basically, that's what we do in jiu-jitsu. We are controlling each other, trying to submit each other. And if you make the uncomfortable comfortable, then life is easy. Get easier at least.
Yeah, there's definitely a mindset. You have to come into the gym every day with an open mind. You have to approach it humbly. You have to be willing to learn and be willing to go through the highs and lows and just take in everything you learn. You really can't fight think that you're going to come in and you're going to beat everybody or you're going to be better than anybody in a certain amount of time, or in 2 years I'm going to have this, or 1 year I'm going to have that. You just have to approach it every day like it's a new day, and just try to improve every day you come into the gym.
I mean, I think it's hard to sort of say it's one thing, and I think it differs for different people, right? I mean, I'm not a competitor. My goal, as I said, is to have fun, to learn, and then to sort of be able to get up and go to work in the morning. So for me, it's all about sort of learning the art, right? And sort of learning how to deal with energy, learning how to deal with problems, sort of making it into a chess match, and sort of make it the kind of thing where I'm thinking, where it's not just about my physical strength. So I think that's the most important thing, is realizing that you don't have to be the strongest or the fastest, and even if you are, that you don't have to use that strength, right? That you could sort of beat people in other ways, and that you could sort of deal with problems in other ways than just sort of brute force. So I think that's the BJJ mindset for me, at least.
Beim Boxen aber, ich glaube, mehr beim Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu ist es eine ganze Lebenseinstellung. Das ganze Leben hängt einerseits cool, häng los, train hart, und im Leben das nicht alles so ernst nehmen, wenn man das Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, das ist ja, das hört sich oft komisch an, aber das ist wirklich fürs ganze Leben. Ich meine, Geduld zu kriegen, du brauchst beim Kämpfen Geduld, und das brauchst du im ganzen Leben. Du musst im Job Position for Submission, wenn du fängst gerade beim Job an und willst Chef werden, ja, oder Vizechef, ja, das funktioniert nicht. Du musst dich hocharbeiten, das ist für mich die Position. Du musst dich in die richtige Position hinarbeiten, und dann kannst du eine gute, bessere Position oder bessere Arbeit oder was auch immer kriegen.
As I told you, Jiu-Jitsu is much more today. It's MMA, it's self-defense, it's sports, it's fitness, it's education for kids. The thing is, if you see Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as a whole, all of these aspects can Jiu-Jitsu provide. The thing is, you have to teach everything a little different. You cannot have a guy teaching sport competition Jiu-Jitsu and teach the same techniques to a guy who wants to train for MMA. In the beginning, the basics are all the same. Okay, everybody has to learn how to hold the position, how to sweep, how to get some submissions. But later on in MMA, you focus much more on the aspect where you can punch somebody, when you can kick somebody, but you still want to be able to apply some techniques, some submissions on the partner. In competition, people are not afraid of getting punched or kicked in the face normally, but what they want to fight with somebody who is training jiu-jitsu as well. The modern jiu-jitsu is here to beat the older jiu-jitsu. Like today, there is a trend that people say we have an old and a new Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I think it's wrong to divide jiu-jitsu in old and new, but it always depends what your focus is. Is your focus more on MMA? Is your focus more on self-defense? Or is your focus only on competition? I think if you're a good instructor, you have to be able to teach MMA, self-defense, kids, or fitness in your jiu-jitsu classes, but I think you cannot do all at the same time. I cannot train somebody who is training for MMA at the same time I'm training somebody who is training for competition. On a high level, this is not possible because the sport is different, the rules are different. Okay, we have to respect jiu-jitsu because we always train how we compete. This means when the rules are different, we have to make our training different, that it is possible to apply the techniques according to the rules. On the other side, what we also want to show here on our camps is that jiu-jitsu is more than just learning techniques for MMA, self-defense, or competition. It's also a way to get to know different people from different countries. It's a way of life. Some people would say it's a very good way to get to know other people, to work, to train with other people. But I think a lot of sports are like this. If you're doing sports, you get to know other countries, you get to know other people, you can train in other places. If you have the right attitude, it's not only martial arts which helps you to get a good behavior, a good discipline in life. Other sports can provide this as well, but it always depends how your instructor is teaching you, how the attitude of your instructor is. Our mindset is that we want to help people to grow in any direction they want to grow, and that's why we're offering so many classes in different directions. Like I said before, in the gi, no gi, MMA, self-defense, or even some fitness classes with gymnastica natural.
Jiu-jitsu is part of my life. It's very hard to say what it means to me, but Jiu-jitsu is everything from the moment where I wake up. I'm already thinking on Jiu-jitsu. My mind works Jiu-jitsu way. Everything I do in my life is related to Jiu-jitsu. So when I socialize, I'm doing Jiu-jitsu. When I have to solve a problem in my life, I'm doing Jiu-jitsu. So it's even hard to say what Jiu-jitsu means to me. It's like, it's my life.
BJJ is a big part of my life because I also run 2 gyms together with him, and it's like a job and a hobby combined. It's perfect.
So it has much more aspects than a normal sport, I would say, because it's also kind of a lifestyle, and yeah, basically more than half of my friends are all in the academy, so a big part of my social life is in the academy. Jiu-jitsu means quite a lot. It's like I start every day doing some drills, and usually I end the day with some sparring with my students. It's really like one of the biggest parts of my life.
At this point, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is my life. I've been doing it for so long, more than half my life, you know, and it's part of me now, and I want to share my passion with other people. I like, as an instructor, for me to see the growth locally from someone who didn't know anything becoming much better, and it makes me feel very privileged to help others. Maybe they're going through something. It helped me personally with some situations in my life to realize that they're not so bad, and it gave me an outlet. It gave me a way to get away from the problems and not think about it, clear my mind, and then realize how severe that problem is. And if I can help someone else with that, I'm very blessed to be able to do that.
BJJ means for me getting to know your own body, your own limits, meeting new people, new friends, make new friendships, and also kind of a big family, you know. So we do a lot together, and that means a lot to me.
It's a big part of my life, and it's kind of I love it when I roll and I have this catharsis feeling, you know. That's like you go and get into a flow, and it's just everything else stops, and you have only the rhythm of you, your partner, and also the music behind you, and it's like a combat way of dancing, something like this, for me personally.
A challenge, everyday challenge, where you have to try to solve a problem on the mat, and also when you understand the method to solve problems, it also helps you to solve problems in life. But for me, the main focus was never competition. I like to compete sometimes, but the main focus is to learn and to improve. Competition helps, but I think competition is not the only way to improve.
I mean, I think it's, in many ways, it's a lifestyle. It's a way of doing things. I often sort of think about my life in terms of BJJ, right, where you try to go with energy, try not to resist things. And as I said, I mean, I think it's just a way of beating people. It's a way of being in many ways.